Hello world, I'm Raven and welcome to my front porch. Well, this is more like an alcove, but for all intents and purposes, right now it will be the front porch. Sometimes I will have a front porch, sometimes I will have, I don't know, I'll have something. So, as I mentioned in the first little short video while I was doing my evening skincare, there will be different topics that I'll go over, and these probably won't be as polished as some other creators, and if that's what you're looking for, I'm not that girl, because ain't nobody got time for all that. At least not right now. Maybe if it makes me some money and I can quit my full-time job, I will. But I decided before I get into all of the places we have been, I should start at the beginning. And I made myself notes because I am a geriatric millennial, and I'm sure people like to use their tablets and all that stuff. I'm just gonna write it down. Okay. Alright. So you want to be a nomad. That's great. That's cool. People tell me all the time, oh, I'm so jealous. And yeah, it looks cute on little Instagram photos that you see, because that's what we do, is we put the cute photos out there, and then we keep all the crazy photos to ourselves to look back on and be like, what the fuck did I get myself into? So before you go out and buy yourself a camper van or jet set on a plane somewhere, well, you can be spontaneous if that's what your life is. It's good for you. If you're more like me, you need to ask yourself some questions first. Number one, what about where you live now? So you want to go be a nomad. You want to travel around. You want to be like, fuck it, if we're just doing what we want, I'm going to get in my car and I'm going to live my life. Cool. Do you own your house? Do you want the house to be there if you ever come back? Do you even want to come back to where you are? Yes? No? Those are questions you have to ask yourself, because if you're like, well, I really like where I live and I don't want to have to sell this or move there, you have to account for that. And people love to talk about money off the jump, but before you get to how much your lifestyle is going to cost you, you need to get into what you're willing to give up and what you aren't, because that's the true cost. Is how do you want to live your life? What do you want it to look like? What matters to you to keep? So if you're renting now, or you're like, I don't care about this place, and you want to just okay, cool. Next, all the shit you have in your house, all your little boo-boos, if you do those or whatever. I have books. I have lots of books. I still have them because I was like, I'm not getting rid of these. So we got a storage unit that is wall-to-wall books, and I regret nothing, because it was important to me to keep those things. And so I have to factor in a monthly storage payment in order to have the books and the knickknacks and the things of value that I just could not bear to leave and give up to someone else. So you have to ask yourself, do you want where you currently live at to continue to be yours? If not, great. Are you willing to sell it? How much can you get for it? Will you break even in the current market? These are all things you have to ask yourself first out the gate. What are you going to do about your home, if you have one, and the shit that's in it? And after you've figured out that, how long do you want to do this? If you work remotely and you feel secure in your job, then I guess you could do it until you don't want to do it anymore. If you're like, I'm going to sell all my stuff, and whatever I get from all of that is going to be what carries me, how long is that going to carry you? And what are you going to do when it runs out? Are you going back to where you came from? Or are you hoping to go and immigrate somewhere else? Do you want to just move to a different town? You have to ask yourself, this is what you want to do, but where's the journey? Yes, the journey is the journey, and that is important, and it shapes us and changes us, and it's amazing and frustrating and all of that good stuff. Where are you headed on that journey, though? What are you looking for? And it's okay if you don't know, because I tell people all the time, I'm searching for the place that feels like home, while at the same time discovering that home is here. Home is what I build it to be. And also, home needs to be a physical place, because one day I'll be old and I'd like to sit the fuck down. And so you have to figure out what is it you're looking for. If you're like, I don't really quite know what the destination is and I have a lot of flexibility for how long I can do this and all the places I can see, then great. Then start to build what it is you want your life to look like. There's tons of things on TikTok, and if you don't use TikTok, I'm sure you can find them on YouTube, about finding your passion, your purpose, and building your life around that. And there's a whole like life rebrand now thing. There's some cool stuff you might just Google get your life right. I feel like that might help you figure out where you want to go. If not, I guess just do the thing until you can't do the thing anymore, and then pivot if that works for you. At the end of the day, it really does come down to what works for you. For me, I have to have an idea in mind of what I want home to be. I know where my final end point is. I don't know exactly where on this globe that is, but I know what it looks like in my mind. I know what I'm doing. I know how it is going, how I want it to feel, and how therefore it is going to feel. Which comes to the next part. What are you looking to get out of this? For me, it's seeing the world with my kids, because that was important to me. I wanted to share that experience with my children. I wanted to show them the world, to quote Aladdin, because I thought that would be an amazing gift to give my children, is the ability to be like, here is the world. We are all pretty much the same. When you get down to it, everybody is just trying to live life the best they can, and there's a lot of assholes who are in charge that are fucking it up for everybody else. But you get past the assholes and you get to just the regular everyday people. We all just want to eat, sleep, and know that whatever offspring or people we care about is okay. At the end of the day, that's all we want. And when you get out of your backyard, you can see that we all aren't so different. And I wanted my kids to see that we are so different. And at the same time, this planet is amazing. It's absolutely gorgeous and awe-inspiring. And I wanted them to recognize and feel that. And I wanted to feel that. I wanted to feel like I was a child of this earth, instead of just a plague upon it. So, what is it you want out of this? And there could be other things too. Like, I sat in the field with a sign trying to get the aliens to pick me up when we were in Roswell. Like, there could be also experiences you want to work into the overarching thing of what you're wanting out of this. I went rappelling into a slot canyon. Never thought I would do something like that, but I did, and it was fun. And I'm glad I did it. Like, there are tons of things that you could do in this life. You have to ask yourself, what is it you want out of this experience, and then overall, and then break that down into little things you want to experience too. Like, do you want to do some white people shit? Do you want to eat, pray, love? Like, whatever it is you want to do, know that and claim that, and then you can work backwards and build in all the things that allow that to be possible. I also wanted freedom from the hamster wheel. I actually wrote that here. That's been my biggest goal my whole life, is to be off the fucking hamster wheel, because it's a setup. It's a setup. They've got us spinning around and round and round, convincing us there isn't enough. They have us stuck in a scarcity mindset when there's plenty. There is more than enough. We just have to be willing to share. The other part, how are you getting around? So, assuming you want to trek across the U.S., how do you want to do that? We sold our minivan and bought a giant pickup truck and an RV. Hindsight being 2020, I think I might have done some things very differently about that, mostly because it was all very expensive. And so I traded a mortgage for an RV and a truck. And while they're way less than my mortgage, it's still a lot of money that I'm paying on. I would have liked to have done some things differently if I had sat down and probably thought it out a little bit more. But I figured everybody was saying fuck it, so we were going to say fuck it too. And I don't regret that. It's just one of those things, like, probably could have get around slightly different. But at the same time, the RV, which I will put a picture here, is amazing. it has enough room. I mean, not enough room as far as my kids are concerned, because they left individually designed bedrooms to go and share maybe 900 square feet with their whole fucking family. So, you know. But there was a place to eat, there was a place to sleep, there was a place to shit. We could hook it to our truck and we could go. And that was great. That was amazing. Also, being able to pull over the side of the road and piss in a toilet and not have to hunt down a gas station where I'm like, is it safe to go in here? And if you know what I'm talking about. That was amazing. Highly recommend. Highly recommend being able to carry your toilet with you. But you have to figure out how many people are going with you. If it's just you, you can absolutely get a camper van for like, I mean, the prices are probably going up because everything is, but for a monthly cost that's a little less than your rent, I can guarantee you that. And have enough space for you and a pet, which you have to figure that into. If you're taking a pet and you want to go beyond the US, what that's going to look like. And then they have massive RVs. Or you can just be like, we're going to drive around in a van and crash at random places. You have options, but you should figure those options out before you're like, I'm going to go do the thing. Okay, yes, but where are you going to sleep? Think about that first. So, next thing is, who are you taking with you? And how will this impact them? And if you have little kids, you're probably just like, okay, I can put everybody in the car and we can just go. And that's true, because kids are kids. If they're a bit older, it will impact them. I mean, even if they're younger, it's going to impact them. If you take your spouse, everybody that's going on this trip is going to be impacted. You are putting yourself in a smaller confined space with people all the time, and you are doing like average maybe 3 to 6 hours of driving a day, depending on how you break it down. And then if you're doing international, it's the flights, and are you breaking those flights down, or are you trying to do long legs? And all of that impacts everyone who is with you, not just you. And some days you will fight, and some days you will want to just yeet each other into the sun. And everyone needs to have coping mechanisms and therapy. I highly, highly, highly recommend therapy, and it can be a little difficult because some therapists won't work across state lines, and so some will just be like, where's your home of record, and that's what they use. So talk to them first, but have someone on speed dial for when everybody's ready to each other. Because while all these YouTubers and Instagrammers and TikTokers will paint this beautiful picture of the family in the RV, that is not real fucking life, folks, let me tell you. There'll be days where you don't like those people even though you fucking love them. You have to, that's just reality. That's reality of the situation. It's not all shits, giggles, and roses, okay? So have a plan in place for what you do when everybody wants to lose their fucking mind. In our case, I set up a schedule, and so the way the RV is set up, we have a living room space and a kitchen dining space, and then the main bedroom, and then a loft atop where the younger two kids sleep. And then the oldest sleeps in the living room space, and I actually bought adhesive little tracks to put up, and I let everyone pick out curtains. You can literally cloth shower curtains, super cheap, decorative, cute, everyone can pick it out, and I hung those up to create individual like spaces at night, so everybody kind of felt at bedtime that they sort of had their own room, so to speak. And then during the day, everyone was given an hour in that back main bedroom to just go and like veg out, play games, watch YouTube, watch a movie, whatever it is they wanted to do. They go in there, they can close the door, and they can do their own thing for an hour. It's just their hour. No one is allowed to knock on the door, no one is allowed to bother them. That is their time to just be like, whoa, fuck these people. You have to figure out what's going to work for you and your family. Or just you, if it's just you by yourself. Like, how are you going to deal with being away from friends if you have a tight-knit friend community? I mean, if you're just alone who has nobody, I guess it doesn't matter. But for everybody else, You have to think about the impact of everyone who's coming with you and how you are going to work with all those personalities and still give people opportunity to have their own personal space, because they're not going to want to be up under your ass all the time, and you're not going to want them up under yours too. And then if you're alone, how are you still going to feel connected to people that matter to you? I actually have like a day of the week I've assigned to all of my close little circle of friends, because I don't have a lot of friends. I'm a quality over quantity type person. So everybody, a couple people share, but they have a day, and I make a point of being like, yo, you alive? How are you doing? What's up with you in your life? Because just because they post a picture on the internet does not mean that you have any idea what the hell is going on. And if they matter to you, you got to make a point of reaching out. And if you're deciding to get in your car and like go off into the wild blue yonder, you should make a plan if you want to actually keep these people in your life on how you're going to do that and what that's going to look like. I have a friend that I weekly actually, not monthly, but we weekly get together and watch a show. And I have one friend that we're better at doing puzzles a couple months ago than we have been recently. Life's been crazy. But you have to figure out what you're going to do. Like, you have to think about that. And you can think about that while you're thinking about all the other stuff. Like, it's not like I have to do this, then this, and this. You can do all of the chaos at the same time. Just, have a lot of tea or coffee, whatever it is you drink, and take some breaks, because it can be overwhelming. Let's see, what else did I put? Now we finally get to the fun part, money. So, now that you've figured out what did you want to get out of this, what sort of experiences are you looking for, who all the hell is going with you, how you want to get around, then comes the good part. You actually get to figure out how to make it all fucking happen. You sit down and see how much everything costs. And then don't be like, oh my God, it's too... No. If America's taught us anything, is that there is always fucking money for something. You just gotta figure out where the fuck it is. And that is stressful. I had like a little breakdown when we were in Tulsa. Because we were still fronting a house and an RV and a new car. And it was a little stressful. It was stressful. And you will have those moments. But you have to ask yourself, am I committed to this shit? Because if you are, then you will figure it the fuck out. I can't tell you how to figure it out because I don't know your finances like that. But what I will tell you is that you can absolutely 110% figure it the fuck out. If they can find money for war, you can find money to be like, I'm gonna hit these fucking streets. Okay? You can. Shake a little ass if you need to. I'm not judging. Last thing I put is honor the grief and flow. So, it all looks beautiful online. The photos, the places, all those things. But anytime you make a big life decision, there is grief. Because you have to grieve the life that was in order to have the life that you want or think you want. You may get there and be like, I don't want this shit. And then you have to grieve that decision you made. But there will be grief. Grief is a part of life. Grief involves everything. It's not just when someone dies. It is when a relationship ends. It's when a new one begins and you mourn singledom. You have to make room for the grief, because there will be times when you're like, shit, what did I do? When you really just want to like call your friend because something went crazy and now you're on the side of the road having a slight panic attack, but you're 3 hours ahead of everybody, and so, or behind, whichever way you're going. And maybe they're busy, or you don't want to bug them, or whatever. Like, there will be times where you mourn what you had. The comfort, the coziness, flushable toilet. Because like RV toilets flush, but it's not the same. It's not the same. And you might miss that. My kids did. It's a constant comment. I like when toilets flushed, Mom. Like, yes, I get it. Toilets flush. That nice whoosh sound. You're not having to fill it up and then go to the bathroom and make sure everything goes down and then dump it. And there's all these things you don't have to do when you're a nomad. Or, well, before you're a nomad. So, in pre-nomadic life. was a whole other things you didn't have to think about. You just got to be. There's a lot of comfort there. And you have to grieve that. You have to grieve the comfort because it is going to be uncomfortable. For all of the wonderful things you will see and do, it will be fucking uncomfortable. It will push you. It will challenge you. And it will reaffirm your humanity. But that will also involve grief and flowing with things and being able to roll with the punches and the random things that happen. Like, we were traveling during this windstorm, and so the cops pulled everybody off the road who had vehicles of a certain height. So we were lined up in this little, like, hilly area nestled between all these semi-trucks because our RV is like 43 feet long and 13 feet high, so it's like pulling a fucking semi. And we were there for hours, and they couldn't give us an answer. And so what we did was we turned around and went the other direction at about 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night, and parked in a gas station and nestled between all these other semis who had done the same thing. And we slept in a gas station parking lot in our RV. And I made dinner. I don't even remember what I made for dinner, but it was very haphazard. But people ate. People were fed. And it was one hell of an experience. And then the next morning, as we were leaving and we finally on that stretch of highway that we were denied access to, we see just semi after semi flipped over. And you have to give thanks for the fact that we dragged ass that morning and avoided all of that and just had to sleep in a gas station parking lot. But at the same time, it's terrifying, it's frustrating, and you have to flow with it. And if you can't flow, you will fail. And there will be a level of grief in that because some days you don't want to flow. Some days you want to sit the fuck down and not have to figure it out. And if you're someone who's like, I don't ever want to have to do that, then I suggest you don't do this. Or you find someone who does do that and then you give them a lot of love. Because they're going to be stressed. But it can be a wonderful experience if you're open to it. And okay with going just a little mad. Or a lot. A lot mad. A lot. Ooh, I've lost my mind. But, so the next video, I guess I'll start us on the path we took. I don't know where I must stick it. Or maybe here. I don't know. We'll figure it out. And I use a website called RV Life, and this is not, no one is paying me. This is just what I used. It made my life very easy. It was great because I could put in all sorts of information, and it helped me plot out things. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. It is not free. I don't think I paid. Yeah. There may be a free option, but I paid for it because I needed something to make my life easier, and it did, so it was worth what I paid. But we started on the West Coast, or East Coast. Forget where I am half the time. Started on the East Coast, and then we went to the West. And I intentionally avoided the upper part of the U.S. because it was winter time, and I've lived in North Dakota, and I was good. Also, I had lived in North Dakota, so I was good. So we went down. We also avoided Texas because I had lived in Texas before, and I'm good. So, yeah. But we saw some cool things, and I will share some of the things we saw and some of the lessons we learned and other tips and tricks, I guess, if you want. Also, you have to consider your Wi-Fi situation too, because sometimes you'll be places where you don't have your cell phone won't have any signal, so you gotta figure out what you can do about that. Some people use satellite. I personally think Elon Musk can suck a giant dick, so we did not use Starlink. We mostly hanged out in places that we could get some sort of signal, even if our carrier was not in the area. The thing we used for Wi-Fi, and I'm blanking on the name now, I'll maybe put it in the description thing below or whatever. It used multiple different cell towers, so for the most part we were pretty good. sometimes it was better, and then sometimes we just planned for not having Wi-Fi, and it was like, hey, we're not going to be available, or I'm only going to be available these days, and I'm going to download whatever I need and work, and then upload it when I get to somewhere that does. Those are all things you can figure out before, or in our case, we figured out a lot of it on the go. The Wi-Fi we had sorted beforehand, but, you know, you gotta flow. And so that is it for now, and I will upload this at some point in time. Until then, like, subscribe, leave cute comments, don't be a dick, because like I said, I'm out of my fucking mind, and I am petty. Y'all stay blessed, bye.